There's usually only one reason a driver would do a runner from an accident. They've been drinking. Unluckily for him, he's been caught on CCTV, and the cops have got him.
I've got some money in that pocket. I've got a phone in that pocket.
Help me, you're on the floor, mate, all right?
Help me fill in there. I've got some money in a phone.
Sure enough, he's either been knocked senseless or he is indeed legless.
Just tell me your first name, right?
Right, it's Adam. My first name's Adam. I've got a few notes in there. I've got some change.
Keep your legs down,
okay,
then.
okay.
Look, all right?
I've got some change.
Keep
I've
your
got
legs
a
down.
couple of notes. I've got some money. Help yourself.
I'm not going to help myself, mate. I'm just going to make sure.
Help yourself, son. It's only change. It's a bit of money. It's a bit of money. Help yourself. Take it. We'll go to the pub and have a pint.
He was almost knocking me out with the fumes that were coming from his sort of breath anyway, so I arrested him straight away for driving whilst being unfit. I didn't need to breathalyse him.
In the control room, they're taking a closer look at the man's crash, and something very disturbing is coming to light. It looks like it's deliberate.
When we asked him about the accident, he did indicate that he didn't care if he died or whatever.
And it's all because he's had a bust-up with his girlfriend and has been consumed with jealousy.
From looking with the CCTV, obviously he hasn't turned in sharp enough, and it looks like he sort of literally tried to drive through the railings, if you like, on her side.
The man's girlfriend is on her way to hospital with serious injuries to her foot, but she's been able to make allegations that back up the cops' suspicion about the crash.
She indicated that he was making threats and had threatened to kill her.
There's been another development. Witnesses have said they saw the man try to crash his car before it smashed into the railings. He's crossed the line. It appears he has tried to kill his girlfriend.
So obviously a deliberate attempt at trying to hurt someone, then you're looking down the lines of really assault, or, you know, in this occasion it was being looked at as an attempt murder initially until we knew otherwise.
You all right with this shut now?
What's that?
Yeah.
Adam Hall is going to be arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. A full-scale investigation has swung into action. Sergeant Melanie Doyle is preserving any evidence there might be at the site of the initial incident.
My traffic officers had taken the driver into custody, so I went back down to take control and command of the scene itself and assess what needed to be done. Witnesses have described the vehicle doing handbrake turns, and so you could practically map out its path by the marks it had left on the road. I'm just trying to mark it before it disappears, so that I can see a little bit. I've called in CRU and they'll do a lot more work here, but at the moment I'm just marking for my own view what I've got. It was fairly clear that, from what we could see of the marks, that the vehicle had been driven northwards up the Lewis Road. For whatever reason, the driver decided to steer the car, for want of a better word, straight into a parked car, whether it be to scare the passenger or to actually cause her injury, I don't know. But then he immediately carried on driving, drove off again, did a U-turn right round across the road, accelerated hard, and at the last second turned hard right into Elm Grove, not making the turn at all and careering straight into the railings, where it all came to a stop.
With the charges so serious and the evidence stacking up, it's necessary for CID to take up the case.
So the indications we're getting are that it was a deliberate attempt to drive into there and a deliberate attempt to crash up there. And it's her side here. It's dead centre up there. It's dead centre of the car that's hit the post, and both bags have gone, and they both hit the windscreen head on, head in. He could have killed somebody, whether it be his passengers or a pedestrian or anybody. He could have quite seriously injured or killed somebody, and his driving was absolutely appalling.
Adam Hall was not charged with attempted murder, but he was found guilty of dangerous driving and drinking and driving, and given a suspended 9-month prison sentence, a 3-year driving ban, and required to do 200 hours community work. Information about another possible criminal offence on the outskirts of Scunny has come in. Traffic cops PCs Graham Smaller and Darren Woodford are patrolling the area.
We got a call from ambulance control requesting assistance with a male who they thought was having a fit in his car. 2 dogs inside the vehicle with him.
It's turning into a dog day afternoon.
Well, a tendency what we got over.
All they want us to do really is take the dogs out for them, isn't it?
The car's down one of the hidden lanes around here.
There's that one down there.
That only goes about 100 yards, isn't it? There's no sign of an ambulance through the trees.
Oh, there's this one's directly ahead.
Hey, one, show us on scene, please, with the ambulance.
Come on, what do you think?
They found you.
The report came initially of a gentleman in a car at the location who had possibly been taken ill.
There was a lorry here going down to the wharf.
Yeah.
This vehicle was in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
The guy couldn't get through and he was just stuck in the front of the vehicle.
Right.
Okay.
The ambulance crew had got him into the ambulance and they'd done their quick health checks on him and they were happy that he was physically okay.
We couldn't take him to the hospital because in the front of the vehicle he's got knows how much money.
In the ambulance.
Right. I'll just have a look in the vehicle.
The man must have come here to take his dogs for a walk or to count his money in peace.
There's an amount of cash that's strewn about the inside of the vehicle and a couple of excitable dogs.
And more significantly, there's something to explain why the man took his turn for the worse.
Aha!
He's been on a bender.
That'll do it.
Now he's going to be breath tested.
Blow. Big breath and blow. Harder.
Even though the man hasn't been seen driving his car, it's still illegal to be in charge of it when drunk.
He was heavily intoxicated. You could smell it on his breath, his eyes, dead giveaway, his speech. There's a definite incoherence as well with him.
That's it, keep going, keep going. Well, that's enough, mate, yeah.
I couldn't personally believe the result that came out. It was 145 in that region when it came through, and that's certainly the highest reading I've ever had from a driver at the roadside.
Right, so I must tell you, I'm arresting you for providing a positive roadside breath test.
That is very high. You've got to drink a lot of alcohol to have a reading of 145.
The man could even get off being drunk in charge. Who would believe he's in charge when he's too paralytic to even walk?
We had to lower him out the back of the ambulance because he couldn't cope with the steps as he tried to leave the ambulance. And then we had to guide him and support him whilst we got him the 20 yards to the back of the police car.
Oh, good lad.
Okay, and your leg up, Michael. That's
Right,
it.
let's put your seatbelt on for you.
Oh, sorry.
Just lift that elbow up for me.
Okay.
Are we in?
Can I take my dog?
You can't take your dogs with you, no. Just lift that arm up for me.
Oldest dog's name's Holly.
Right.
The younger dog's name's Lucy.
Holly and Lucy.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Stay there. Stay there. I want to take the money out, seal it in this bag and take it with us so that it doesn't get lost. And there's no allegations made against me or Graham.
Was the man ill?
Well, we've sorted it, yeah.
Because when we passed, I thought it was like that, but they thought, Trevor thought he was reading him out.
Ah, right,
So
no.
it made me feel really bad.
No, it's all right, we're sorting him out, he's okay.
The drunk is sorted, for now. There's just the problem of what to do with his dogs.
We could do with somebody, if possible, to come and sit with this gentleman's vehicle with the dogs in it until something can be sorted out for them.
The man found drinking down the lane has also been brought to the Nick in Scunny, and he's really in the doghouse.
When we arrived at Scunthorpe Police Station, we entered the detention yard at the rear. We then had the problem of removing the gentleman from the vehicle.
There you go. Roll forward a bit. There you go. Keep coming.
Don't trip over that step.
Keep coming.
Had we not been there to support him, I doubt he'd been able to stand without being against the wall or falling over.
There you go, mate. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, careful. One step, look. Whoa! You missed the first step. Alright, don't fall over, will you? I don't fancy picking you up.
There is sometimes a history of alcohol problems, and the alcohol problem sometimes takes over the whole lifestyle. There you go. To lead on now, it's no excuse whatsoever. They shouldn't be on the road. They could easily run into my family.
I warn you again that failure to provide either of these specimens will render you liable to prosecution. Do you now agree to provide 2 specimens of breath for analysis? Now, like we talked about.
The formalities were gone through. It took a long time because he wasn't able to speak due to his level of intoxication.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
You will?
Yeah.
So you're going to provide us 2 specimens of breath?
The 2 specimens are needed because the one taken in the ambulance can't be used in court.
Blow. Go and blow for me.
I was watching the gentleman attempting to blow into this tube, and I saw straight away that his cheeks were being sucked in.
You're not blowing, you're putting it in your mouth. All you're doing is holding it in your mouth and just doing nothing else. You're not exhaling.
The penalty for failing to provide a sample for analysis is a mandatory driving ban of at least 12 months.
Is there any reason why you didn't provide me a sample of breath?
I was pushing.
All you did was put it in your mouth and just held it there. You didn't do anything. Then you started sucking.
I don't know whether he was so intoxicated he was physically wasn't able to do so, or whether he'd formed that opinion that he thought he'd make it off with a lesser sentence. But with a roadside indication of 145, there's a lot of alcohol in that body that's going to affect his thinking processes as well.
Right, sit yourself on there for us and take your shoes off.
Nice.
Sleep. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take yours off for us.
Historic Portsmouth on the south coast is the 2nd largest ferry port in the UK. 6,000 freight lorries pass through it every week.
They've got a lorry driver, they pulled him over and searching his...
There's been a report that one of them has been pulled over and stopped by customs officials.
Yeah, Roger, not a million miles away. I shall start towards.
Traffic cop PC Nick Elcombe is on his way there to find out why.
We work with our colleagues in the Customs and Excise branch, and I have been called down there on a few occasions in the past. Physically, they're not able to stop every single vehicle entering the country. So I would imagine your chances of actually getting stopped are quite slim.
Customs shed, mate. Customs shed, OK. Thank you very much.
As I turned up, there's a lorry in the customs bay, a big 40-tonne articulated lorry.
Mike India 02, State 6.
Mike India 02, thank you.
Customs suspect the international trucker has exceeded his alcohol allowance by drinking more than is legal to drive.
Shall try my best Polish.
When it became apparent that he's from Poland, I thought that this was possibly going to complicate matters.
Come here.
PC Elcombe's got a problem. The lorry driver doesn't speak English.
Okay. Your lorry?
Ja.
Have you been drinking?
Ja, ik drinken.
How long ago?
Is drinken is from is ferry, yeah?
On the ferry? So, some time ago? Not here?
Yeah.
You drinking here?
No.
It was immediately evident this chap had been drinking. It was quite malodorous.
Good.
The breathalyzer confirms Elcombe's suspicion.
It's red.
Yeah.
It's not good.
The man has got bad breath.
Is waar parkplaats.
It's a police station.
Nee, is parkplaats is finish out.
No. No.
Jaki problem?
Big problem. To police station now. Okay.
Is ferry, ja?
Yeah.
Is parkplaats, is slaven,
No.
is finish.
Here is road.
Niks
You're
erop.
driving here. Yeah, these people walking around and you're driving this. Okay? Place your hands like that, please.
Nie ma nic.
I can't believe that he didn't know that it's illegal to drive in the UK over the legal limit, whether he knows what the legal limit is or not. That, to my mind, questions his suitability for the job that he's doing.
Niks okay.
Niks okay. Well, you decided to drink and drive.
There's a surprise in the cab for Elcombe.
Well, I mean, he's just blown on the screening device over 130, which would put him at 3 times the drink drive limit in the UK. He's in charge of about 40 tonnes of road train. It would appear that this chap's got a bit of a drink problem. Driven it from the ferry to here. He reckons he was down a kip. The trouble is, the nearest place for him to stop is going to be, probably up near Basingstoke. So we're talking a good, probably 40-mile drive before he actually gets to somewhere where he's going to stop.
For PC Elcombe, it brings a whole new meaning to drinking and driving.
An open glass of spirit in the cab is a first for me in, 14 years. So that was something of a surprise.
Arrived at the police station with his drink driver. The Polish trucker doesn't like the way he's being treated, like a criminal.
I don't know, I'm afraid. You might be the famous Polish axe murderer or something. I don't know you. Right.
He didn't appear drunk. He smelt of alcohol, and the signs were there. If you know what to look for, the redness of the eyes. He was argumentative.
All I can understand at the moment, he wants a cigarette.
Speak any English at all?
No.
Obviously not.
He's Polish.
I'll give you explain. 2 seconds. I'll give you explain the reason why he's been arrested in English.
Okay.
Just to put the details onto the system. Then I'll get the language line on. We'll get the Polish interpreter through.
My Polish is pretty much non-existent. The custody sergeant's Polish obviously wasn't that hot either. So we're reliant then on the interpreting service, which we have to try and get things done over the telephone.
I wasn't about to run away. I didn't intend to harm anyone. And this treatment, it has been very unpleasant.
Miscommunication, misunderstanding, it's all thrown into the mix in what can be already a very complicated procedure.
In Fareham, they're taking a more precise measurement of the alcohol in the lorry driver's body. The reading shows that he is 2.5 times over the legal limit. In Poland, where their legislation is tougher, he would have been 10 times over the limit.
UK, it's 35.
England and...
Okay, no, you can't write on these.
England, yeah?
This chap became argumentative and was trying to throw confusion in and muddy the waters by pointing out that the reading was wrong and incorrect and that sort of thing.
He said something about air from his cheeks versus air from his lungs, as if it were any different. I have no idea.
My suspicion, Monica, is that he's a professional driver and that probably knowing that he's got the potential of losing his driving licence, he's starting to think about technical defences.
It became apparent in conversations that he was going to try and use what we call a hip flask defence.
How bad is
The man's trying another excuse for being over the limit. He's claiming it was because he had more to drink after he was stopped, but before he was breathalyzed. The cops can work out exactly how much he had drunk and when from the leftover drink bottles, but that means going back to the port and finding them.
What appeared to be an open and shut case very quickly became a very open case.
We'll get the interpreter on the phone.
If the lorry driver is not charged soon, he'll have to be bailed, and he might not return. Time is running out, and the cops haven't got the evidence to disprove the man's new alibi. Elcombe's going back to the ferry port to find it. Back at the ferry port, PC Elcombe has returned to get the evidence to prove how much the truck driver had drunk. But there's a problem.
The team that I wanted to speak to had gone home, which then necessitated trying to find the on-duty team I then had to consider what we call a back calculation, i.e. working out how much he could have possibly had to drink in that stage and trying to find witnesses from the customs people that could confirm or deny whether he had in fact been drinking.
If I end up having to interview him about back calculation, I'll need to know how much he's had to drink. So if I turn around to him and say, you know, you've had that much out of that glass and that much out of that bottle, how long have you had that over, what period of time you've had that over, work on the principle that the body's only able to digest a certain amount of alcohol over a period of time. So we'll be able to go on a back calculation to exactly how much his limit was at a particular time, and the laboratory can do that quite accurately. So even if that now falls out, I can say exactly how much alcohol was in it.
When you volunteer for what you think is going to be quite a reasonably straightforward drink-drive procedure, you're not expecting to end up working on late until the evening.
Elcom's spoken to the customs staff. There are more complications.
None of the customs officers will be able to give us continuous vision of what the guy was doing at any one point. So we're now going to have to go back and speak to the custody sergeant and decide where we go from there. It's getting late, I'm getting tired, I'm getting hungry, I'm getting grumpy, but I'm professional. I'm not going to let this minor setback spoil what was an otherwise perfect day.
In Fareham, PC Elcom has got the booze he seized from the lorry back to the neck.
Proof of the pudding's in the eating. Hopefully I've not lost any of my evidence. The bottles are still in one piece. How smooth is that? Shaken, not stirred.
We're not in a position to really bail this person until we know where we're going, because if he decides to scoot off back to Poland, that could be the last time that we see him.
There is still not enough proof to convict the driver. Unless Elcom can get a witness statement, they'll have to go with the lesser charge of being drunk whilst in charge of a vehicle.
There's his phone.
It can be very frustrating, and it's difficult sometimes to maintain your sense of professionalism. It's been a long day, and you know that you've got reams of paperwork to even fill in before you go home, but the job's got to be done, and so try and put a brave face on things and try and maintain your sense of humour.
At Waterlooville, there's no... and the Polish trucker was eventually found guilty of being drunk whilst in charge of his lorry and awarded 10 points on his licence and fined £200. 90% of all drivers who are convicted of drink driving are male. This afternoon, the traffic cops have been sent to a pub in Waterlooville, north of Portsmouth, to deal with a drunk woman. They've been called by the landlord, who saw the woman staggering towards her car after she had been asked to leave the pub.
Right, which one do you want her in? Yours?
She was absolutely drunk, totally intoxicated. There was no way she was even capable of walking properly, let alone controlling a vehicle.
In you go. Oh my God. You need to turn that way, don't you?
My colleague, PC Brind, failed to get the breath test and arrested her for being unfit to drive through drink or drugs.
As PC Bryn takes the woman into custody, O'Connor has come across a witness.
Hello, sir.
I see it back that car out.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he opened the door and took the keys out.
Right.
Fantastic action. If he hadn't have done so, then, you know, the vehicle could possibly be involved in a serious crash.
Just quickly move this back in.
The woman's car, left stranded in the middle of the car park, is proof she was trying to drive home. This time, it looks like an open and shut case.
Fortunately, there were two other people who were witnesses who also confirmed that she was behind the wheel of the vehicle and was actually driving it.
The potential for her driving that car is horrendous. It's either going to be her killing somebody or killing herself. So we go back to Waterlooville now. We now need to put her on evidential machine to find out what level of alcohol she's got in her system. I have to say that she's probably got so much in her system she might not even be able to blow into the machine.
The woman arrested in the pub car park is refusing to let her minor setback spoil her day.
Okay, what's your first name?
U-L-L-A.
U-L-L-A. Any middle names?
Ulla is from Finland, but there is no language barrier this time.
Sorry, you have to run that through me again.
Well, my name is Michael Coe. Not many people know that.
At the station, she was very, very talkative, but still cooperative. What I need to do is take a deep breath and blow into this tube until I tell you to stop. I was concerned that she was so drunk that she might not be able to actually carry out the evidential procedure, so we can actually find out what alcohol was in her system. What I need you to do, though, is to do that breath test for me again. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Fortunately, she did listen to me. She did understand, although it took a very long time. And she did give 2 samples of breath.
The readings have shocked PC O'Connor.
I honestly didn't believe it would be that high. I didn't believe that anybody could still actually give 2 evidential samples, understand what was going on, and give her such a high reading. The legal limit that you can drive with alcohol in your system in this country is 35. Okay? You are at, the lowest reading is 154. You're substantially over the drink drive limit. Okay? You will be charged with a drink driving offence. They're 2 of the highest readings I've ever seen. She blew 154 and 155. She was 4 or more times the drink drive limit, massively intoxicated. I know you're very upset. We need to finish this.
Ulla has been caught drink driving before. She could be on her way to prison again.
154. That is the highest I've seen, ever.
In Waterlooville, they're breaking the news to Ulla that she can't go home yet.
Come on, Ulla, come on. Come on. We'll get your drink and stuff in a minute. Hello. Ulla, do you understand what's happening?
No!
Right, okay, unfortunately, the amount of alcohol in your breath is very, very high. And at this moment, you cannot be charged with any offences because you are too intoxicated. So what we need to do is to let the alcohol dissipate from your body. Now, unfortunately, that's going to take several hours, probably, I calculate, 11 hours, before the alcohol level in your body is sufficient enough for you to understand what's going on. What we now need to do is take your property off you. This will be returned to you when you leave.
Keep yourself calm, okay?
Do you want a female officer to help you?
No. Male one, not better.
Which one? Do you want a hand with that, or are you okay?
No. Can't even get it off. Can you do it?
Yes, of course.
Oh, please.
No problem at all.
No. Come on.
No problem at all.
Ulla was funny, to be honest. She was quite entertaining, which makes it even more difficult to deal with somebody like that. You've got to constantly think about why she's there. She's got a reading that would kill most people, but she's still standing and talking. Can you imagine the consequence of her in the car? So I'd imagine that the custody officer will be asking that she is remanded in custody. So she'll appear in court and will be remanded, hopefully, and won't be back out on the road for some time. This lady may well have a drinking problem. To a certain extent, I feel desperately sorry for her that she's got to the point where she really doesn't know what's going on.
Do you want a drink of anything? Tea or coffee or anything?
Coffee.
Coffee. Any sugar?
Yes. No.
No sugar. No? Black. Okay.
Well, if you need anything, push the button. I'll go, okay? Take it easy.
Alright.
It's very upsetting to think that somebody can actually be in that state. And yes, you do care as to what happens to them, and I'm glad that she wasn't hurt or nobody else was hurt.
In Lee Park, a stone's throw away from the police station, another woman is in distress by the side of the road. She's apparently been drinking with her husband, who is driving.
I'm not selling porkies. I've had 2 pints when I was waiting for her to try and get her out of the pub. They'd had some kind of domestic argument. We think it was over the money for the fish and chips for the kids' dinner. Something as trivial as that.
What's your name?
Dave Britton.
Dave Britton. No, I don't think we've met before.
We haven't, because I've been a nice straight boy for the last 10 to 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
PC Steve Woodward has got a whiff of something about this man.
The fumes coming off of him and from the car in general were very strong. It's not like you've got to go right up to them and virtually kiss them to smell the alcohol.
Because one of you two is going to have to drive it home.
Yeah, we'll sort that
You'll
out.
probably arrest me, because I've probably had...
What time was your last drink?
Oh. Half hour ago.
Sorry?
Half hour ago.
Half hour ago.
Like I say, I got phoned up,
Yeah.
picked me up, take me like 2 pints to get hold of her, and then...
Have you ever given one of these before?
Yeah, years ago. Not one of them, was a little blue bag. When you
Oh, blimey, that is old, isn't it?
That does as well.
Well, this will still hurt if it goes to red. All I need to
hurt, but I'm on about the actual hurting.
Right. What I need you to do is blow the end of the tube in one
Yeah, I know
continuous
all-
breath
I-
until
yeah,
I tell
I
you
know
to
all
stop.
that. Double
right?
with all that bollocks. I know
Right.
all that.
Big deep breath, keep blowing until I tell you to stop then. That's it, thank you.
And it goes to red or amber. Now, what's the amber?
You're right, it's gone straight out to red. Okay?
That's because it's so short a time between.
Well, I must tell you that you're obviously under arrest on suspicion of driving your motor vehicle whilst over the prescribed limit, okay?
The man's wife is going home. She's had enough.
He knew, even before he'd taken the breath test, that he was likely to be over, so he wasn't surprised.
Well, I'll drive it home, won't I?
Yeah, right, okay.
Fuck's sake, I used to be a racing driver. I did.
Yeah, well, even racing cars you've got to drive sober, haven't you? We'll sort the car out and we'll get you taken to Waterlooville custody.
I get arrested every 5 minutes because I'm not protected, because I'm English.
Mhm.
I'm one of the few people that can actually hold their hands up and say, I'm 100% English. I've got no Welsh, no Scottish, no Irish, no other bloody blood in me apart from English.
His name was Mr. Britton, and he made great play on the fact that he was English.
Right.
You've been done for drink driving before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long's
Just
that?
the second one?
No, this is about the fourth one.
Is it?
Because I used to be, like I said to you, when you first stopped me, I used to be a bad boy.
Yeah.
23rd of June 1978.
Yeah.
I got 3 5-year bans on the trot.
Right.
But I was allowed off with a 7-year one because I kept appealing against it while I was in prison.
He treated the whole thing as a joke, and obviously it isn't a joke, it's a serious subject.
Your carriage of weights, Dave.
That's what pisses me off. You know, I haven't...
Right, before we get in the car, have you got anything on you shouldn't have?
Yes, I've got an Uzi 9mm in my back pocket.
Give it here then.
Some bastard's nicked my back pocket.
My aim when you're dealing with somebody like Mr. Britton and any other drunk driver is to get those 2 breath samples.
Put your seatbelt on, hate to have an accident and rearrange your face on that headrest.
That's why we have to treat them almost with kid gloves, and it really does get up your nose.
Such luck for PC Woodward. He's still got Mr. Britton to process.
You've blown 46 and 52.
The reading is above the drink drive limit of 35. But anyone who blows under 50 is offered a second chance with a blood test. By the time the doctor arrives and the sample is analysed, Britton's alcohol level could drop to below the limit. But he's decided not to take up the offer.
The sample...
I'll sit here for another hour and a half waiting for a bloody doctor to come and take a blood test on me. Unless you say no, we'll have a piss test.
It will be blood. He's now sitting in the cell, and when he's sobered up a little bit, he'll get charged with excess alcohol purely on the breath sample, which came back at the lowest of the 2 readings at 46. So that only sort of just puts him over the limit. There has to be a limit somewhere along the line, and he's over it. So I've got a lot of sympathy with him. None actually. Especially as he's done. This is what his 6th time. This is his 6th time for excess alcohol. So he knows the rules. He knows what the limits are, and he didn't have to go out and drive his car tonight.
Mr. Britton was found guilty of drink driving and banned for 12 months. He was also fined £150, but he was not sent to prison again. But Ula, who blew one of the highest readings the cops had ever seen, was, for 4 months, and banned from driving for 3 years. Reports come in from a member of the public of an upturned car close by.
The chances are it's on its roof in what we'd refer to as a live lane, where members of the public are driving along at 70, 80 miles an hour and be in a collision, and those people could suffer some serious consequence.
But the live lanes seem clear.
Must be on our shoulder then, or something. Must be behind this lot. Or is that it there?
Here, this is what's going on. 90 for your info at 1 mile marker prior to junction 30. Vehicle is on it, on the hard shoulder. I'll give you an update re injuries in a moment.
Oh dear. Well, has anybody in it?
When you look in that vehicle, there's that moment of hesitation before you do. It's almost just pinch yourself, prepare, because the reality is you may be looking in, be faced with a dead body.
Is there anybody with it?
No. We've not been ejected, have they?
When you see nothing, it is a little bit worrying, because you think, where could they have gone? It's quite a bit of... You what? It's not blood, is it? Nah. Have they been thrown out? Have they run off?
There's a load of beer cans, they've legged it. No price for guessing. There's plenty of open lager cans in the car. So straight away, I'm thinking obviously we've got a drunk driver what's run away somewhere.
Help comes from a lorry driver who stopped when he saw the crash.
Have you seen anybody running off from it, or...?
Walking down there asking for a lift to Leeds. I presume it's the driver from here. He's down there near the trucks.
Right.
I just saw a car come on its roof sliding across the front of the of my truck, and at the barrier there. I've just seen him. I think I've just seen him walking down the hard shoulder asking for a lift to Leeds. I presume that's him, and he looks like he's had a drink or two.
Anyone walking on a dark motorway is a danger to themselves and others. A drunk and injured man even more so.
We're obviously going to try and find him, and these wagon drivers have seen somebody walking down.
He's fallen down. Just 1 minute.
Where is he, down here?
Yeah.
Hello?
90, he's gone down embankment. No, with no visual. Somebody's just seen him go down the embankment a couple of minutes ago.
He's not going to have got far, is he? 90.
Is he in here?
He's here, Dale. Oi! Oi! Come on, get up. Yeah, get up. Are you in that car on your own? Put your hands where I can see them. Put your hands. Right, get them for us, Dale. Right.
90.
I'm so sorry. Right. Is there anybody in that car with you?
No.
No.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, I need you to stand up.
He's not very compass mentis.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah, well, as long as you're not injured, that's the main thing. Right, come on.
What's your name? What's your name?
Ian.
Come on, Ian, let's get you back up.
God, I'm so sorry.
Are you all right? Have you hurt yourself?
No, I'm so sorry, lad.
He's immediately apologising to us. It's a prime example of it's too late to say sorry, really. You're going to get dealt with to the full extent we can.
Don't apologise, let's just get you somewhere safe, all right?
Apologise.
Come on, just be careful, look where you're walking.
Disgusting.
Ian, just look where you're walking, all right? I'm just going to put these on you. I don't want you to worry, but it's a dangerous place to hit cars, all right?
How much have you had to drink, Ian?
Not a lot, honestly.
What's your idea of not a lot? 1 or 2? Or 1?
Honestly.
Right. So you don't think you're over? Why have you run off then if you're not over?
I'm just terrified.
Yeah.
I'm just terrified of the whole situation.
Right. So you've had more than 1? Yeah.
Thankfully, only he's involved tonight, and we're not dealing with some unfortunate who's been hurt or even killed because of this guy's actions and decisions to get behind a wheel. They're absolute menaces.
I just need some help.
Yeah, well, we're going to sort that out, aren't we?
warm there, you just sit tight there for a minute. If you decide to have a drink and you make that decision to get behind the wheel of a car, these could be sort of consequences. You find yourself laid in a ditch 50 yards from a motorway, waiting to be found, basically.
As they prepare to give the remorseful driver a breath test to see just how drunk he is. Back on the M62, PC's Doug Lofthouse is still questioning the man who did a runner after crashing his car.
He's obviously got some issues at the minute, hasn't he, with his health and well-being.
A paramedic arrives to check him over.
Oh yeah. What's happened, you know?
A lorry stopped dead in front of me.
Yeah.
I just hit the brakes and the car overturned.
Okay.
He's putting his hand up to being the driver, but just can't accept, obviously, to take responsibility. That's, in his mind, it may be right, but his mind's probably not working as clearly as everyone else's around him, and he's being affected by the beer goggles.
Could
have killed someone. Just what a monster am I? God, how sick is that? Please say I've not injured anybody, please.
Nobody else is, only your car's involved here now, right?
Making sure he's unhurt is important, but the cops are more concerned with finding out if he's guilty of drinking and driving.
Right, Ian, if you could take a big deep breath and keep going until I take a stop, yeah? Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop. He's blown 116 on the L device, but we're talking that it's potentially, he's over 3 and a bit times the legal limit. Legal limit's 35.
There's two sort of types of drink driver. One would be somebody who's maybe made a bit of a foolish decision, had a little drink and decided to risk it on the way home, and then there's other people what are 3, 4, 5 times the limit. And although he's upset, he's remorseful, the sympathy level he'll get offered from me personally is totally different. He'll still get dealt with professionally, but at the end of the day, he could have avoided this entirely.
But it's not the first time he's been caught.
We found this guy's driving licence record, and he's shown us a revoked licence regarding previous drink drive matters. And in fact, he was given a 4-year disqualification for drink drive matters, which expired last week. In my experience, a 4-year ban for a drink driving offence, it's not a first offence, it would be a second, third or fourth. The bans tend to get longer, further down the line you go. So to get a 4-year ban, it's the first one of that nature I've come across. The paramedics here are happy to release him into our custody, so they've obviously checked him out, everything's stable. When I can get in there, I'll be formally arresting him on suspicion of driving whilst over limit.
With a long record of drinking and driving, this time the consequences may be more serious. Back on the M62, Doug and Dale are still dealing with the repentant drunk driver who crashed his car.
Probably get imprisonment.
Truthfully, I honestly don't know. I'd rather be honest with you, I don't know.
I deserve to be.
If you killed somebody, I'd say, yeah, let's keep things into perspective. You've not killed anybody.
He comes across very well, saying all the right things, whether that's just a show for us or whether that's the way he genuinely is, I'll never know, because we only get to see a very brief snippet of people's lives.
You're a lucky, lucky man. And you might not think so, sat there, but I can tell you now, look at the kind of road we're on. There's vehicles that's doing 56 mile an hour and there's cars that are doing 70 mile an hour, 80 mile an hour, even 90. And guess what? You're still breathing, walking and talking. But I'll be honest with you, me and my colleague, we don't agree with what you've done, but it don't make us treat you any different. You're still a human being, aren't you?
Thank you.
Some people might say I'm a little bit like a social worker, but I'm not. It's just a little bit of compassion at the end of the day. But it doesn't hurt for me to be civil to him. My mum brought me up and said, manners are free. Treat everybody with respect and dignity, which is what I do.
Just watch yourself as you get out, won't you? Can you manage?
Yeah.
Straight up to that door where my colleague is.
The driver's brought into custody to undergo a more accurate breath test.
I'll tell you what,
understand why you've been arrested then?
Yes, I do. When you speak to him as a person, you look at his previous history. He's a very well-educated man who obviously has hit hard times. I'd have a lot more time and respect for him if he didn't get behind the wheel. You're potentially involving other people in it, and through no fault of their own, you could be on your way to visit your mum or go to the coast for the day and come across somebody like him, and potentially he could kill you. He's a danger to society. Right, so your first reading was 100, your second one's 108. Okay, so you're way over the drink drive limit of 35.
Not only is he well over the limit, his current licence is still revoked following a previous 4-year ban.
Seeing what we see on such a regular basis, we see the potential consequence of what he's doing.
The driver might have escaped with his life, but he won't escape the consequences when he goes to court.
It's not me that decides if you go to prison, that's going to be a magistrate on the day, isn't it? If it were first time, I'd better say definitely you're not going to go to prison, but because we've done this kind of thing before, it's a little bit different, isn't it? So I honestly don't know. I'd rather be honest with you and tell you, I don't know. Like I say, I don't want to lie to you because that's not my job, is it? He needs the help and he needs the support and he needs to get off the drink. If he goes to prison, that might help him a little bit maybe, and maybe he'll be able to sort himself out. But will he do that? I don't know. Only he can decide if he's going to do it. Really, he's got to be strong himself.
Best place for him, if you ask me, where he is right now. Fully expect he'll ultimately receive a custodial prison sentence for this offence, and rightly so. On the face of it, it's just going to keep going until there's an intervention of some sort. And my biggest worry is the intervention will be a serious accident where somebody's injured or killed. So until he's able to control himself, yeah, keep him locked up for me.
The repentant over-the-limit driver who crashed his car and was found hiding by Doug Lofthouse received a 16-week prison sentence and was given a 5-year driving ban. In Hampshire, the traffic cops are at the sharp end of the epidemic of drink-related accidents. PC Phil Hunt is on the M275 motorway, all too aware of the need to spot impaired drivers before it's too late.
You might need to have a look at that car there. It's a really bad bit of driving.
He's even got eyes for them in the back of his head.
All of a sudden I'm aware of this car that's coming up behind me far too quickly, and he slows right down and tries to tuck in further back behind me. It's almost a bit of a game really. I then move lanes as well so that I can slow down even more and get behind him, because I want to look at him, look at his driving.
One look at his driving is enough for PC Hunt to bring the game to an end.
He's coming absolutely hoofing up behind us, this bloke. Realised and stuck his anchors on, really, really obvious in the rearview mirror. So,
on local channel. Is that 100?
Hello mate, alright. Jump out a moment for me please. Is it your motor?
Yeah.
Yeah? Come back on over the side here. And that was an awful bit of driving.
Oh no, sorry about that.
What was it all about?
No, I was going about 70 and I see that I was going too fast and I thought I'd pull over a bit.
What have you had to drink at all today?
I've had, today?
Yeah.
I've had about, out the whole day I've had about, I'll be honest, about 4 Fosters.
About 4 Fosters?
And about a Budweiser.
What, pints, cans, bottles?
Bottle of Bud, 4 Fosters.
Right.
And about 1 Jack D's. JD.
Okay. Have you drunk?
That's all day, that is.
What's your first name, please, mate?
Michael.
Michael. Michael, have you drunk anything in the last 20 minutes?
Yes.
Right. Okay. When did you last have something to drink?
About 45 minutes ago.
Right. That's not in the last 20 minutes, then, is it?
If the man had only just had a drink, any breathalyzer result could be misleading.
Right. Okay. You have failed the roadside breath test. Okay. It's gone to red. And I'm now arresting you on suspicion of drink driving, okay?
Having failed at the first hurdle, it's time to phone a friend.
Cole? Cole? You got to make your own way out. I've just been arrested. No, look, serious.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the kid's with me now, yeah?
No, I'm busy, mate, I'm busy.
Oh, you got to say?
No, I'm busy. Not only have I got my own things to sort out, but I'm not going to get distracted by some rubbish on the phone. The first thing we need to do...
I know drunk, miss.
Sorry?
I know drunk.
No, we'll get the reading from the machine. You blow in the machine, same as you do the machine at the roadside. You blow in the one at the police station, and then we'll take it from there, OK?
It's not accurate, though, are they?
Sorry, the machine's very accurate.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
What makes you say that?
PC Hunt has got a challenge on his hands. A wise guy who thinks he can get away with drink driving.
Because I know people in the same situation as what I'm now in.
Oh, right, OK. All right, well, whatever. That's the machine that we use anyway. It's Home Office approved device.
At Portsmouth Central Police Station, the clever suspected drink driver is facing further questioning about his driving.
Thank you. Erratic driving, M275. Stopped and breathalyzed.
He said to me, he pulled me over because he thought I was a dangerous driver.
That's right, and then you blew...
I wasn't dangerous driving, was I? Officer, was I dangerous driving?
He didn't say you were dangerous driving, he said you were driving in an erratic manner.
We're not... Listen.
What's an erratic mean?
Listen.
What's an erratic mean?
I'm not going to speak to you if you're going to
tell me what an erratic means.
I don't know, I wasn't there.
Thank you. What does erratic mean?
I wasn't there, I don't know
what erratic mean. So tell me what the word means. It means dangerous.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It means inappropriate, dangerous.
I'm thinking he's starting to resist. He's starting to formulate a plan about how he's going to effectively try and get off with this.
If he fails the next test on the intoximeter machine, he will be charged.
Hey? The best way of dealing with these people is just to be completely upfront with them. Don't give them any room for manoeuvre.
What happens if I refuse then?
You commit an offence.
Well, no, I don't commit offence, do I?
Yeah, you do.
No, I've got, in my rights, I've got maybe, what, 2.5 hours, 3 hours?
No, mate.
Yes. I have. No, I have.
That's not how it works, I'm afraid.
Oh, I think it does. PC, whatever your name is, I want to see it black and white. You cannot bullshit me.
So do you agree to provide 2 specimens of breath for analysis, yes or no?
Yes, but not at this present time, officer.
Back in custody, the suspected drink driver is still pushing his luck.
I know people that only took the test and refused it all the way and walked away. So just, I ain't been funny, show me in black and white.
No, listen, what we're going to do is I'm going to read some stuff out from the booklet.
I'm not going to listen to you, mate.
And then...
I'm not going to listen to you, I'll cooperate with you all night.
If you've got any...
that shit, and
if
I'm
you've
not
got
going to
any...
shine no shit. I know full well, officer, that I don't have to take a test for up to 3 hours.
It's not how it works, I'm afraid.
Don't try and make me stupid, because that's what you're trying to be doing for the last half hour and you're pathetic at it. I've always corresponded to what every cop has asked me a question, I've always corresponded to what they wanted. I've always...
What I want this chap to do is blow into the machine. The best thing for me to do is to stay cool, stay calm, go through the procedure, make sure that I've dotted the I's and crossed the T's. I warn you that failure to provide either of these specimens will render you liable to prosecution. Do you agree to provide 2 specimens of breath for analysis? You either do it now or you don't do it.
You pressure me, officer.
No, I'm not pressuring you. I'm just saying you've got to decide one way or the other what you're going to do.
Yeah.
It's actually a requirement in law I'm making of you, and you commit you commit an offence if you don't do it.
Though, is it?
Yes, it is.
No.
Under the Road Traffic Act 1988, it is.
No, it's not.
Time's up for the not-so-clever after all drink driver. He's out of lifelines.
That's it. Offence is complete. He's failed to provide a specimen of breath. If they fail to blow into the machine, they're going to go to court no matter what.
There's been a call for assistance with another driver who's been chancing his luck with a foreign driving licence. PC Andy Smith is on his way there.
It's right by the police station in Portsmouth. Some local officers have stopped a Chinese takeaway delivery driver who's been in the country for too long to be driving on his Chinese licence.
But nobody's going to miss out on their takeaway. PC Smith has happened upon something else that requires his immediate attention.
Mike Echo 15, I'm at Mile End roundabout. I've just come across an RTI. I'll have to deal with this.
The RTI, or road traffic incident, has been caused by a car smashing into a van. Luckily, no one's been injured. Smith has wasted no time grabbing the man he suspects caused the accident.
What's your name? Steve. That's all right, Steve. At the end of the day, we're in the middle of the road and I need to make sure we don't get run over. When I went up and spoke to him, he instantly disassociated himself from the vehicle.
I wasn't driving, though.
We can sort that out in a minute, okay?
Yeah,
at the moment, okay, I just need to sort out this.
Okay,
one bit at a time.
Do me for driving, so you ain't got no chance.
The man claims to be an innocent passerby who's had a drink or two.
He claimed that he'd walked to the vehicle from the other side of the roundabout, no idea who the driver was, and was just trying to move out of the way.
Stop. Oh, sorry.
Right, until I can establish what's going on, okay, and about the driving, listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're under arrest on suspicion of driving with excess alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've arrested you, you don't have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you fail to mention, when questioned, something which you later rely in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Okay. I'm going to get you to have a seat in the back of this van. Can I
just get the phone first?
Where's the phone?
Okay. Just in there.
In that car?
Yes, please.
Why would your phone be in the car?
The man's just blown his whole story.
It was actually in the back of the car, where it had fallen through from the impact. What's this in your pocket here? When I asked him where the keys were so I could help him move it, they were in his back pocket. So, yeah, there's one or two things that linked him to the vehicle. There we go, jump up there for us.
PC Smith is handing the man over for charging with drink driving. But the toothless driver whose mobile phone gave his game away was found guilty of drinking and driving and disqualified for 28 months. The M275 erratic driver was also found to be driving without a licence. He was banned for a year for failing to provide a breath sample.